A whim away, 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 a whim away.
Back in 2019, we were able to hack the camera bounds of the Old Tree Hill to uncover a hidden section of the Masakari jungle area. In this small corner, there's a pedestal, some torches, and an unused asset. Hidden in the VRAM, there also exists an unused NPC and some extra sprites for the Funga tribesmen. What does it all mean? What was the area meant for? Were there any events tied into it? Let's see what we can gather. First, let's look at the unused NPC, the Funga Chief. His graphics appear in Area 10, the Deep Jungles, Section 2 and Section 6, Old Tree Hill and Purified Old Tree Hill respectively. He's got full sprite data available with animations and all, like standing idle, talking while standing, walking, sitting, talking while sitting, and standing himself up. Besides the sprites, there's a whole lot of unused dialogue tied to the Funga Chief, but more on that later. While the Funga Chief is 100% unused, the Funga tribesmen are not. They act exclusively as enemies until you lift the curse, and you can see their attack animations as well as stuff like the jumping, drumming, and whatnot in the final retail game. What you can't see are these sprites of them climbing, and being all beaten up with casts and all. Anyway, the Funga Chief has a handful of unused dialogue only present in the Japanese version of the game. Roughly translated, it goes as follows.
Oh, you. My people say, you hurt nobody. You. Amazing. Wonderful. Splendid. If I had Funga Drum, I would dance. That. Secret. Hear nothing. You. Come again always. You. Number of my people say, you hurt them. How could you? Unforgivable. But I give one chance. Now, you. I tell you what to do. If you behave, that all. If you do, I forgive for hurting my people. Funga, honga, hoi, hoi, hoi. Oh, you, good person. I forgive. Oh, you. I was wrong to give chance.
Funga!
It appears that the Funga Chief had different reactions depending on how many of the Funga tribesmen you hurt on your way to the Old Tree Hill. The number part of the how could you line must have changed to show how many tribesmen you attacked while on your journey. It seems he also had a way to forgive Tomba, but there's also dialogue that kinda feels like he could have just killed you for being a bad person or something. He also makes reference to the Funga Drum, something we'll talk about later. Apparently, there was some sort of a secret Tomba wasn't supposed to hear about too. And also, he might have given Tomba some sort of a task, telling him what to do. Or something. Who knows? There's a bunch of unused events and event descriptions related to this, so let's take a look at those. These are rough translations from the Japanese version though. Let's learn words too. Learn the Masakari people's language. Yeah. The text is from the Pure 8 demo and the event icon is from the Pure 9 demo. It appears we were originally supposed to learn the Masakari language. Beginner's Dwarf language. Learn how to speak Dwarf language. This isn't unused at all, but just for the sake of argument, look at the icon. This pretty much confirms the fact that Tomba was supposed to bite the Masakari tribesmen before learning how to speak to them. This was probably done while the jungle was still cursed, so that the player could talk to the chief. Or something along those lines. Jungle of the Masakari tribe. Unveil the secrets of the Masakari. This might have something to do with the unused dialogue of the chief talking about a secret and telling Tomba what to do. It wouldn't be surprising if the chief was supposed to give the pig bag to Tomba instead of the bag being in a chest just in front of the entrance to the village. Can't say really. Strangely enough, there is also an unused variant of the jungle pig bag event icon. It differs by 1 pixel and has a darker colour all around. This one is used, this one is unused. Mind you, Both are separate sprites in the VRAM, not just some palette change. Bizarre. But anyway, back to the events. The Elder's request. Find the Masakari Chief's Spear. As we'll explain shortly, there's an unused item called the Chief's Spear. It seems Tomba was supposed to fetch it for the Chief. Maybe this was the task he gave Tomba, and after returning the spear, he would talk about the curse and give Tomba the pig bag? Surely there must have been something going on there, but it's impossible to tell. But yeah, then there's the unused items. Oh boy.
Oh boy!
Chief's Spear. A fine, well-sharpened spear. Yeah. As we discussed earlier, this is probably tied to the Elder's request event. Alas, we don't really know where the spear was supposed to be found or what the idea behind it really was.
Funga
Drum. An essential drum for the Masakari people. So, this is a fun one. Before we go any further, let's take a look at the used item. Now let's compare it to the unused item. Looks like they switched the in-game sprites around. The used icon shows a bigger drum than the unused icon. The small drum was probably given to the Masakari tribesmen on Phoenix Mountain, while the Funga Drum was supposed to be crafted by Tomba himself and be given at the village. And by crafted by Tomba himself, we mean that. There's some unused dialogue data found in Lumberjack Factory, aka Lumberjack Town, and also Stones Town and Clock Tower for whatever reason, that had this to say. Keep in mind, this is roughly translated from the Japanese version.
I wanna create something. Is there nothing worthwhile I could make to put my talent to good use? What? You're saying you got captured by the Masakari? You're lucky to be alive. Now that I think about it, there's this rumor I heard that the Masakari used to have a large Funga drum that they used during their festivals. It's said to have a really nice sound to it, but I've had a hard time finding the materials. If I had at least those, I'd be able to make my own drum. Oh, of course. The Tree of Knowledge ought to know about them.
Sadly, there is no unused dialogue from the Tree of Knowledge about the drum, so we can only speculate what he might have had to say about it. Anyway, there's also these three unused items. Funga Leather. Raw drum material. It gives beats of pleasant old days. Funga Sap. Raw drum material. It can stick wood and leather together. Funga Tree. Raw drum material. It produces a pleasant hard sound. We figured you'd collect all of these and return to the Lumberjack Factory, where you'd craft the drum. The following unused dialogue kinda hints at it.
What's that you've got there? Could it be? That's the materials to craft a large Funga drum, isn't it? I have no idea how you got your hands on those, but please let me make a large Funga drum with these. Alright, leave it to me. I'm gonna make a drum that's so amazing, it'll blow the Masakari's socks off. Well, it'd still take some time to make it, though. Why don't you go take a walk outside the town? It's done. It's quite the work of art if I do say so myself. Here, take a look. Man, that's the most fun I've had in a while. Thanks.
Yeah. We don't know where these items were supposed to be found, but the drum was probably supposed to be given to the Masakari chief alongside his spear. And that's all we have on the unused storyline of the Masakari village. In short, it seems that you were supposed to first learn the Masakari language by biting them, the same way you did with the dwarves, then retrieve the chief's spear, then find the Funga Drum ingredients and craft the Funga Drum, to get the jungle pig bag in return so you could defeat the evil pig? Or something? Ah well. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and join our Discord. Links in the description.